Great, thank you.
Dylan looking confused. Technology. Day, I can't remember what day it is now. Day 4? It's task 4. Task 5. Task 4. Task 4, day 5.
I don't know.
This is a great life. I don't know. We're just going to fly today and we'll fly tomorrow. We flew yesterday.
Exactly. Just do what the meet director says. Go where you're told and don't worry about what day it is. When I say do as the meet director says, you got to do what Ruth says.
That southwest wind will change slowly to south wind and southeast wind at the end of the task. That direction. This is a very big mountain, not necessary to stay over near of the ridge because it's more dangerous because the power of the thermals is strong, maybe not 8, but strong. Then you can stay little more out of the ridge and you have good thermals too.
Right, this is task 4 and we have 16 minutes to the start. The start is out there over town and we've got a gaggle that's drifted back. These thermals are getting a lot of drift on them. There's a stronger southwest at altitude predicted this morning. So what's happening is we're thermaling off this ridge and getting drifted a long way back. But that group that's gone back are getting a strategic advantage because they're going to get high for the start gate. So I'm going to hope to find something off here that I can get that boost. I can take the start from this altitude and I will if it opens, but that would be a better position to be in, I don't know, 8 minutes time when getting ready for glide. So we've got a task today that's a bit of a racetrack, I think. It's out of a town, then you've got to go and tag this big ridge behind us, and then we're flying down that direction. I don't know, 20 k's or so, racing down that way and 20 k's back. Drifting in a 1 here. If it doesn't improve, I'm going to have to fly forward. So that's the lead group. So, lead gaggle. 5 minutes to go. I feel like it's a good time to go and glide. We've got 25 k's an hour ground speed. The best glide is maybe a 3rd bar. And we can go slightly more left. Woohoo! Attack, attack, attack! Start is open. 500 meters to go. So I could have left 1 turn earlier. Important not to race too hard now. I'm just in lift, so I shouldn't be on bar. What the hell, let's keep up with him. $140, $100.
Finally, and I'm in a very good position at the start of a task. My idea is to just catch a climb and jump over the back as soon as I can to get to SRS Berga.
Starting to weaken, and we've got enough height to get into this back mountain easily. So I keep this lead gaggle in sight.
This works pretty much as I visualize it and puts me right in the front in the lead group, going for the climb on this east face and going into the first turn point.
2.6 down, let's just bar through that.
There's a lot of guesswork involved when I'm finding climbs over unfamiliar terrain. I combine factors like the position of the sun, the movement of the upper air, the local wind flows, and other pilots like Noé Fontier. All of our wings have nearly identical sink rates. So it's all about positioning your turn in the best bit of lift, in the most efficient circle. I'm thermaling here with Noé Font, he's the task winner, and Matthias Nambarasco, who comes in second. And I've just got that small lead group ahead of me. I'm building up nice height, and I'm in my happy place, flying with friends, in a good position, with unexplored terrain ahead of me, and exciting route choices. The future is uncertain. Anything can happen.
Number 1 and 2 are going on glide.
In this game, altitude is your fuel for transitions, and we have a long one coming up.
Okay, I want to keep them in striking range so that they're useful for me for my course planning. I'm going to just default to half bar. Looks like I'm going through the cylinder. Right, looking at this course line ahead of us, I've got a long glide, probably no lift. There's a ridge that I want to make it onto way in the distance, and I think it'll be a lot slower if you end up below that ridge and have to work up on the way there. So I really want close to best glide on this transition. I don't seem to be moving much on the map. I'm pretty sure now that I've got the cylinder. So given that we're getting good climbs, I'm going to upgrade my speed to fly a little bit. As soon as I'm in sinking air, I'm going to speed up to close to full bar.
I do this a lot during scenic flying because it maximizes height gain in lifting air, especially when ridge soaring or trying to survive during tricky times of the day. But it destroys transition speed.
Not enough to turn in.
In competitions, stay accelerated according to your speed to fly settings until the next threshold climb. On this day, at least 2 meters a second. In competitive cross-country, the same principle applies. Do you want a big number? Don't slow down in lift, unless you're going to circle in it. Just glide straight to the next strong climb.
And got some shading coming from the cirrus. There's a light wind from the left, which is going to make this ravine ahead of me pull through. Probably better gliding with a bit more bar. Four down. See this glider in front of me getting a climb. It's Daniel Crespo. He's getting a good climb out there. Hopefully there's not too much drift on it. He's going on glide now, so maybe he's lost it. 2 meters a second.
So I'm still out in a very good position here. Guys are all below me on glide out in front. Daniel Crespo has just got this little climb. And this is where I lose contact with the lead. Daniel makes the right decision here. He leaves this climb and goes on a glide for that ridge in the distance. I use the climb, which drifts me back, and it's only a 1.8. And just that little move there, where Daniel's gliding ahead, means that he will contact the lead group. I had a chance there to get right up to the front. But by using the slightly weaker climbs, 1.8 isn't that bad. But it just isn't as good as taking Daniel's line.
Now we're out of it. So now it's time to go and glide. Ground speed 27, half bar. As I can turn slightly more on track. Now we've got ground speed 40.
So Daniel Crespo's line is faster through this section because he's left out these weaker climbs and has gone straight for this long ridge. It's rising terrain, it's south facing, and he's come in lower than everybody else, but that's actually given him an advantage because he's come here quickly, he's got a long rising glide, and he's able to jump forward to this front group and connect with the thermal there. Whereas what I've done in this section is I've used a climb here which is not particularly strong, it's 1.8, which seems pretty good, but that's not as good as gliding along a light lifting line to get to the next thermal. So I could have jumped ahead. But at this point, I'm still with Matthias Namborasco, who crosses the finish line first in this task. So I still have a good position, and I still have a chance of winning the task.
Right, I'm in lift at the end of this ridge, but I'm not using it because I can see ahead of me guys that have gone out into the valley have been getting really good climbs, and back way up there. They've got maybe 1,000 meters on me already. So they must have climbed really fast. And I think they've climbed off somewhere around here. Somewhere around this valley. The turnpoint's only 10 k's away. And just need enough height to transition over onto that face. Going up at 4, I can still see guys climbing further up in the valley. And maybe if we get something that's better than 4, going right. Feel like more than 4. Just go into wind there. Based on the glides that I've been getting, I'm pretty sure that I can get across this valley at 35 k's an hour, and I can just tuck in onto the slope there.
This is the kind of decision that defines competition performance. During this racing series, we've all learned how important it is to be fast and stick with the leaders, take bold moves, and fly confidently.
A little bit of headwind now.
Based on the power of the lift I've just flown through, I estimate that the southeast-facing peak ahead will be booming, which should suck air up the lower slopes and give me a quick ride on an upward soaring line. This would be an extremely fast route. It's the last day, so I'm prepared to take a gamble. But just like in real life, we know that statistically, the house thermal always wins.
So I'm hoping I'm going to come in high enough that I'm not affected by the valley flow. I'll just get a flat glide from here.
It's impossible to separate the emotions that come with flying from the pilot. Sometimes you're hanging onto your self-belief by a thread, with your heart in your mouth. When you're low and others are so very high, it can crush your confidence, and you have to shield your decision-making from the mood in your mind. The part of me that wants to scream just wants to smash the speed bar and glide ahead over this stupid blocking spine, despite the shallow forested slopes and lack of lifting evidence. It helps to have you with me, to chat through the visible factors and justify my decisions.
Just using this to reassess. It's 2.4. It's 1.5. I need it to be above 2 really.
You might find that this helps you too, in the bad times, vocalizing what you can see and what it means.
I'm not seeing the guys actually turning on the ridge, so there's nothing actually happening in there. just got to, it's breaking up, but I can see the guys are flying into an area that's a little difficult. Go the direction that I don't want to go. That's no, and maybe into wind. So it feels like there's a wind coming from that direction. And the guys that are in the bowl there are struggling. They're low and having trouble. I've got a headwind to the ridge. But the guys that came in with more height, that worked up on the other side of this valley, managed to pick off this turn point. So that was a better strategy. It's drifting me quite a lot here. Drifting me past the mountain that I want to fly on. But I need the altitude. So this isn't an ideal thermal. This is slowing me down on the task. And the better one would have been in that bowl where it's pulled straighter up the slope. Have a little strike but no forward speed. That's the best I can do. The blue glider was at bridge height and he's thermaled up and hasn't drifted much. So that's a good sign, and that shows that the thermal direction is nicely straight up the ridge.
When I know I've saved the flight and I relax, the feelings wash over me. I'm lifted. I'm reborn. Now flying is the best thing in the world. And I am flying.
Yahoo!
I've linked up with Palter Katz and Christian Durant, who've been leading out every day. They're on the way back from the turnpoint, so I have some catching up to do. It's the lows of paragliding that make the highs feel higher. It's why I challenge myself with difficult routes, hard days, and competitions. Failure is part of my game plan. I allow some space for it in my route, with a safety margin and an option B. Sometimes it's hard to embrace the failures, but it gets easier in the moments of success. From up here, the Pyrenees are spectacular. I could circle around here all day and just soak in the 360 view. But we have a competition task to complete, and I have to leave this high to go and make the instrument go badoo. Turnpoints are sometimes placed in sinkholes that can make the approach technical, but in this case, it's on a great lifting spine.
70 meters to go. Still getting a good glide on that line. That's it. Got a headwind this way now. We'll just go back for the main peak, I think.
Now I'm getting my racing enthusiasm back. Each turn builds my confidence, and I start thinking properly again. I'm very high, but I'm nowhere near the leaders anymore, because I gambled and lost perspective. Good competition pilots can maintain a positive, solution-based attitude for the whole task, with unbroken mental discipline. Racing paragliders is a game in 3 dimensions, with a fluid, ever-changing outcome. Good decisions lead you to good places, where you feel good, so can make good decisions. I know why I've done this move, and why I'm competing. To learn how to fly better. Learning from competitions only happens when you reflect on what went wrong and right. Let's do a quick flight review to learn some key frontline tactics. So that's put me out in 7th position at this point, but I really should have taken some turns and got up to at least Matthias's height, so that when I get to the other side of this transition, I don't have to waste so much time going into survival mode, trying to build up enough height to get in onto where I should have been transitioning to, this top part of the ridge, which was working. So by the time I'm on this piece of ridge, Matthias has already taken the turn point, and Noah is out in front of the ridge, taking a very fast hook the turn point, come straight back in, and just surf the windward side of this ridge. Isn't wasting any time at all. He's taking one climb, which is in a good position, and then just leaving without really getting max height. So if we zoot forward on his line, you'll see he's going back for that same climb that I abandoned, and using that as the booster to get down the course line. So that's a key move to remember. Don't use weaker climbs when you have the opportunity to glide to a long ridge. Go as soon as you can get to it. Take the big climbs before the transitions. Don't do your transitions too low, because it's very risky and it could slow you down. And remember where the climbs are. Don't waste time climbing on the mountain. Shoot back for that climb. Use that to make your transition, and that will keep you in the lead group. Matthias and Noah out front there, and I'm still somewhere back on this mountain. That's me topped out, just ready to go for the glide, but I'm a long way back. I also lost quite a bit of time on this mountain by taking climbs. Even though they were very strong, they were not in very good positions. So it would have been faster to have just surfed around the front of this ridge as soon as I could make it, so that I'd avoided the sink between thermals in the thermaling path that I took. And I do it again on the way back in. I'm taking thermals rather than surfing around the front of the ridge to get to this one and just taking that last big climb. It's difficult to leave climbs when you've just been going through survival mode. And that's why it's important not to risk the survival mode and to do a climb, even if it's a couple of 100 meters, to make that transition work. My return path here, I chose the valley and I got a very good climb out in the valley here. And that was well done. I think this section I was fairly quick and I stayed, held my position or climbed up the rankings a little bit. And this little climb was just one small step that I needed to get in front of this ridge. That slowed me down a bit and I needed just, again, a little bit more height for that transition so I could come in without needing that sort of survival climb. Or maybe just being confident and pushed forward to get through to this front part of the ridge. At this point I'm in a pretty good position again and I've just taken the turn point. I actually have enough height at this point to do a risky glide straight out and finish the task. So I could have advanced a little bit by taking more task risk, but because I get a 3 up, I decide to hold on to that. It's just so much power and speed that you get altitude quickly, so I leave in a comfortable position with enough altitude. From this point on, it's just full bar really, all the way on the final transition. You can see I've got more than enough height to clear these ridges, coming well over the terrain, but for sure coming in lower would have been a bit squeaky. So I think I needed that final climb just to be absolutely sure. And I'm slowing down a bit at the end here. This part I could have flown faster. I'm topping up and slowing down in lift when I really don't need it, because I'm coming in way over the height I need to make it into goal. So I could tighten it up a little bit at the end, but seeing as I knew I wasn't winning the task and it had been pretty full on with full bar all the way, I just felt like a bit of a holiday.
Yes! Oh my gosh, so happy! Finally!
Well done!
Yeah. They beat me again! Hey! So what was your strategy, Jetsada? How did you get in so quickly?
Well, I saw you low down low. I'm not gonna go low on the ridge. That's my tactic. Yeah, with dummy. Because I saw you like there. Like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? No. Okay, I'm taking 3+ too.
Yeah.
For ages.
Yeah.
I got like almost 11,000 feet.
Just straight to the turn point, straight back, just taking big climbs?
Yeah, straight, almost straight. I actually, at one point, I was with the lead as well. I was the 5th.
Yeah.
Like 4 of us, 5 of us.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they take the sketchy line, so it's like, nah, I can't fly this line. I'm just staying back, wait for the people behind me. Come in, come in.
Yeah. That's Dave.
And we have a beer waiting for him.
Oh, come on, Dave. Come closer, come closer.
Dave is also a past member of my flight academy, so I'm very proud to see him in goal.
Well done, Dave. Woo.
Beer. Oh, yes. Woo! Cloud base beer.
Team Flywithgreg is in goal. I'm here with Noe. I met Noe like 2-3 years ago on a SIV course in Turkey, and he was just upgrading from an E&V glider at the time.
Yeah.
And now I know he's just won the task. It looks like it on a two-liner. And it was a big task. I mean, we went back into the mountains and we went down to the turn point at the end.
Yeah.
And I was thermaling with Noah. It'll probably be on the video. We've got we did some turns together.
Climb, yeah.
We were leading. We were in a really good position. And then he disappeared. He went off on glide and I was like, hey, I'm in a thermal. That was the move. Because then he was in the front. So tell me a little bit about from that point on.
Yeah.
You guys just you hammered it out. I mean, you were on full bar from there. Did you come
much.
off the bar?
No. Yeah.
So what is your winning strategy? What did you do differently that you could see like other pilots weren't getting what you were doing?
The other task, we were in the front and they got us by taking a more optimized route. So I was keeping that on check, making sure that we weren't circling around too much. And then Pal and Christian have been leading almost every day, so I just knew that I had to like stick with a front group, and if they went, I had to go. And I knew this area a little bit, and after that first thermal that we got, that was like more decent than what we got before the start. I knew that there was like more power to the day, and then we just kind of went. I think we wanted to climb sooner, but it wasn't working, so we just kept going, and Pal was really like going, and I had a bit of height on him, so I could kind of control what he was doing. And
but you guys went down onto that ridge. There was a halfway ridge.
Like,
you were right on the ridge.
Went there, and we were hoping to climb there, but we didn't. We kind of did a couple of turns on like a one, and it was kind of broken and really windy because there's like a canyon.
Yeah.
So we just thought, oh, this is not working, and we didn't want to go deep because it was way off course. So we just pushed forward and then started kind of like soaring up.
Yeah, climbed
mega
up.
high on like a +5.
And
then pushed to that whole like rocky wall, which is always like really strong, and sometimes you can get pinned, but you're going up, so it's kind of like an elevator. And those guys took more like the ridge, and I kind of stayed more like in front.
Yeah.
And they were like higher and in a better position. But I don't know. This is kind of like the first comp that I do that I'm like knowing a little bit how to fly, and it's interesting. Like a lot of times you don't want to be in those positions that those guys get in on like a normal day. Yeah. But
it's faster.
Because it's a contest, you're like, yeah, it's better.
Coming back from there, was it just basically staying high and just gliding
Yeah,
fast?
we knew that there were strong thermals, and then we just kind of only stopped to turn when it was like really, really strong. I got ahead of them because they got a little bit stuck on the turn point before coming to the front where we met in the beginning. They got stuck, and the turn point was so small that it was up in the mountain for us for how low we were. So they had to like take some time to turn, and then that's how I like caught up to them. And
because you were a little higher, you just came in higher.
And then the rest was just straight full bar. And then in the end, my friend Matthias, who came in to go first, I left the thermal to go do the speed section, and then I guess he has a bigger wing and is faster, so he like fully overtook me like little by little and came in to go. I was like, what? I'm doing everything possible to go as fast as possible, and he's overtaking me. But it was good. It was fun. Really fast.
It's an incredible performance from Noah. He's been doing really well this week.
Yeah, besides the first day, I bombed on the first day, so
yeah. Matthias did as well.
Yeah, he bombed.
He just a bomb.
Yeah, a few days. So.
Yeah. But you got your A game now.
Figured it out.
Yeah. So I look forward to racing you tomorrow. And good luck.
We'll see. Yeah. Me too.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
So I hope that's been instructive. If you'd like to see more videos like this, treat yourself to a membership on flywithgreg.com, where you can get access to a whole competition flying series and a unique training system that builds your skills from day one up to XC flying and beyond. You also get coaching from me in the live streams and private academy chat room, as well as member discounts. Thanks to all my members who supported this production, and I wish you every success in reaching your flying goals. And always, always, always remember, this is for fun. Don't get too caught up in the positions and the rankings and the speed. Keep yourself safe and just enjoy the feeling of racing, flying the whole day and coming into goal.